Really important to keep together now. You've got a really good feel as a squad, and it's a collective responsibility of the young guys and the older guys. Again, we're in this together, boys.
As we've said, and everyone probably knows, we don't want to lose, but it's happened, can't do anything about it. It's like when you get one number wrong on the lottery, like you didn't win, you know, so can't do anything about it. But at the same time, it's been like, it gives you like a bit of an energy boost because you almost subconsciously need to be more positive and not force it, but like you're very self-aware in the fact that like you can't really be seen to be sapping about it. The most important thing is about the team, and firstly, not necessarily this weekend. Who knows, we could lose again, but it's about the long run and how you bounce back in the long run, because short-term success isn't what we're after, you know. You've got to sort of pull everyone together, not have sort of little groups disbanding. You don't want anyone being disjointed from the group. You want everyone to pull together tighter, and that'll put you in better stead as a team in general for the future.
Have that courage, boys. Push it in training. Come the weekend, boys. Autopilot, eh? Brilliant. I'm real, man. Love that. 2 claps, boys. 2, 3.
One way that we finished the session, we call it breaking it down. It was here before I got here in 2016, so it's just like a trend that we sort of carried on. Mac used to lead it, and then he sort of passed the baton on to me, and then you never know how long you're going to be here, so I just make sure that everyone else is doing it.
2 claps in the Ric Flair. 2, 3.
Woo!
Well done, Lou.
Nice.
Lou, how you feeling? Ready to break it down?
Break it down. It was a good one yesterday, wasn't it?
Come on, mate.
Looks
like 2 tests and 1 clap, ready? 2, 3.
Yeah!
As a youngster, especially when I was younger and I first got asked to like break down the session, you think weight of the world's on your shoulders and it's the biggest thing. Everyone's staring at you, but really all you got to do is just say 2 claps on 3 or anything. And it's nice, some people mix it up, get a bit fruity with it, and then some people flop, which obviously they get a load of grief for, which is brilliant. Yeah, I've seen some absolute catastrophes.
So react off me. If I say 1, 1 clap, 2, 2 claps, whatever. Do it 3 times. Ready? 2, 1, 3.
The team talking, like the conversations around training obviously changed a lot due to personnel. I think we're quite narcissistic over this side of the pond, so I think conversations are different anyway, whereas I think everyone has an opinion in England, as you well know. So you have to be, I guess, cater for everyone to a certain degree, let everyone voice their opinion, but at the same time you've got to get like concise detail across in the, I guess, most polite manner you can, but at times obviously it can be quite brutal because you just need to get the message across and then get on with the next job.
The minute we get defend now, let's get our aggression and physicality right. We don't need to wait for us to drop a ball, get angry or cool. Shouldn't take a fly after us, that boys. Come on.
Yeah.
Boys, just 1 point for me quickly on our boa. Let's make sure we connect up. We're chasing under a little bit. Let's connect up, stay square so they can't step back on our inside.
Don't wait for everyone to finish, please. So that's right.
You know, it's good that I'm getting that feedback as, you know, it's a learning for me. You know I can take that learning going forward, and in future huddles I can, if I've got something that I think needs to be said, then I can get that across nice and early so that everyone's on board and we can take that going forward.
Not the most confident bloke in the world, but he's so funny and everyone loves him to bits, so I thought, like, don't be shy to just put your 10 pence in, you know? It's like a charity pot, we're collecting the change anyway, so. Everyone has a role to play in this squad. In fact, let me give you a couple of examples. First off, you've got Rafi Quirky, the barber. If you want to look good, feel good, play good, he's your man. Short, back and ugly, high and tight, he's the one. And then you've got the coffee makers, the baristas, Elliot and Jamie. If you want a flat white, latte or cortado, they're the boys to go to. And then you've got Freddie Stewart, the giraffe. Good under the eyeball, seriously long neck, and ain't good for much else. And then you've got Yulsey, the librarian. If you want to talk about line-outs, he's your go-to man. And then you've got Ben Youngs, aka Lenny, the squad father. If you need some advice, he's seen it all.
Good luck.
Okay, boys, coming in.
Lovely, Max.
There we go.
There, Joey. Oh, yeah.
It's like a drop zone. TT putting pressure on them. And then it was just me and Raf hitting them. If they caught 10 in a row, then we'd get them whatever they wanted. Obviously it was capped to probably a pound. But yeah, Rafi nailed it last kick. You gonna duck it or not?
Yeah, I'll try and duck it.
Catch one of these.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
Yes!
Oh, the old celebration of people's misery. The importance of New England is obviously sharing information, experiences that we have with all these young guys that are coming through. And our senior players take a real pride, and it's a real sort of privilege really to be able to help these young guys. And they're like sponges. They come in, they want to learn, they absorb information really quickly, they want to ask questions. We want guys turning up, ready to go and absolutely going for it. So, you know, our duty as such, I suppose, the senior guys or the more experienced guys, is to make sure they feel at ease, but give them all the information, everything we can, because essentially a lot of the experiences that they're going to face this campaign, moving forward, summer, autumn, and all the way to the World Cup, a lot of us guys have probably experienced ourselves. For me, I take a lot of pride in doing that. For me, I do look at them like I want to invest in them, and almost like almost see them as like, they're not prodigies, of course they're not, because they're their own individual, very, very talented players. But I certainly feel quite protective of them in terms of I want to help them as much as I can. And I'd like to think that maybe through what I do now and how I try and help them as much as I can and how much I give to them, I'd like to think that when maybe they're sat in this chair in 10 years' time, they're doing the same thing for the next youngster, because they think that, okay, let me do that for me.
Max, score it!
It's amazing, obviously one of the, probably I think the most experienced things, number 9 there is. Picking up lots of little bits, obviously his dead duck box kicks, I'm trying to learn those. Swapping in with him, and he's giving me little pointers here and there, in between sessions. Watching clips, all those kind of things, so there's no one really better to learn off in this environment. He wants me to swap in and get the reps. He's not trying to push me out, he's trying to put me in those uncomfortable situations and make sure I get the reps and advance my game, because I think he knows for the betterment of the team, he's got to push everyone, even if you're in the same position.
Get down.
Lovely runs.
Randall.
Lovely runs.
Since my first camp, just over a year ago now, Lenny's been massive for me. Obviously someone that I looked up to growing up, someone sort of that I wanted to be like, the way he plays the game. A big part of my game to improve on was, you know, around my kicking game, and, you know, I've had a few sit-downs with him, chats through, done a few sessions with him, and, you know, I think that sort of area of my game's come on massively, and he's played a massive role in it. So, you know, can't thank him enough in that area. That, you know, he's been class in helping us young lads out, and you know, driving us to get better.
Harry's starting this weekend and I'm finishing. Myself and Harry went for a coffee, and I wanted to be like, we sat down, we wanted to really be clear about like how we see it, and it's very much we're working together. It's an 80 minutes performance between us both, and how do we get that synergy between us, that if one goes off and the other one comes on, that there's no drop off, and there's absolutely no drop off, and we work as a team in that position to make sure that whatever's needed in that game is just like a continuation of that position, if that makes sense. So I can't speak highly enough of Hazard, I can't speak highly enough of Rafi. They're absolutely brilliant blokes, and for me it's like we want to compete and get the best out of each other, of course we do, but we're working together. We're trying to help England win, and that's the thing, that's the key thing for me. It's we're working together to do it, and those guys have been terrific in doing that.
It goes down for real. Don't stop, just keep rolling downhill. Crash, burn, can't stand, fall back. Here we go, Joe. Can't handle all that. Man, it's been way too long. Trying to let the whole world play your song. Nice, Smarter. My shit gets around. Get a country come back. Here the town. Let's go. Lovely. Let's go. Full of chain reaction. Whip a home song and jiggle you all. Baby, I don't care about you, it's like gray. Platinum to spin your whole life. What's down is a back on the dice.
Yeah. How many do you want? 20. Stop there, lady. You want that? Okay, let's rack it. Probably got a bit more in me. Let's rack it.
field. And this week we've chosen to train here on a bit of more of an AstroTurf 4G smaller pitch, and just test the boys in a couple of different ways. So is the communication right, and also is their organisation right going into the game tomorrow? And I think it's good for the boys. You know, we've come from the cold, and then they come here. Sun's always great, bit of vitamin D, a little bit of a booster. And they've trained well this morning. They turned up. Communication was on point. Organisation was on point. So the boys will go from training now and they'll walk back. We've got a coffee shop for them, and they'll come together post-training. You know, I'm sure they'll talk about little bits of training, and then at the right time sort of switch off and not talk about rugby. So that's just as important as actually the training. You know, is that being able to flick between being on and being off. So, and that's one thing in this environment we really promote, because when we're on, we are really on, and so we've got to make sure there's enough time in the schedule for them to be off as well. So they're set and ready to play well tomorrow.
You're going to get tested. You'll either get frustrated, your teammate might get frustrated, the team might get frustrated. It's a real opportunity today for New England to step forward.
We come together, we connect, and we go all day, boys. But it starts off with physicality.
Italy, the Azzurri blue, playing from left to right. Space it for Malins, Malins with the inside pass. It's 3 against 1 out wide, and Jamie George pins his ears back and gets to the try line.
The challenge now is to pick it up again. We know they're going to get tired, we know they're going to wane a little bit. The challenge for us is to pick it up.
Italy down already, but they know what's coming, they know what to expect.
There goes Randall, out to Marcus Smith, the long pass, and Elliot Daly. Max Malins at speed. Kyle Sinclair at less so, but all he had to do was catch it. England have the 5 points. They bounce back from Murrayfield. Italy 0. England 33.
I'm free. Just do that. 2-3. Good way to bounce back from disappointment last week. Obviously we got walk around the pitch now, and the amount of supporters that have come over is unreal. So thanks to everyone for all the support here and back home. And, we've got a couple of weeks now to look forward to the next game, and we'll look to push on.
Worked so hard at the club. You get a lot of grief from a lot of people, and keep your head down and you just keep trucking with boys, so you deserve it well.
Not got much to say, boys. I said a bit last night, but just thank you for making it so special, and I appreciate it, boys. It's a big moment for me and my family, so thank you.